Hi friends, welcome to my stitching haven. I am Corinna. This is my channel all about cross stitch, and this is FlossTube number 10. I had planned on doing a video in March to do like a once a month video, and just things happened. I had to work a lot of weekends, maybe not a lot of weekends, but about half the weekends I had to work. Other half I was sick or out of town, and last weekend I was injured. I fell down the stairs on our front deck. So I was out of work for like a day and then left early the next day, and just thankfully I was just bruised pretty badly, and I am healing up pretty nicely, so I can get back to it. So I guess I will start with my whips. I haven't, so I have been stitching on one project a day, and so whatever I get done on each project is what I get done. So some don't have, I would say most of them don't have a lot of progress, but some of them have a little more than others, but that's just where we are. So my first whip is gonna be Tired Trio from Plum Street Samplers. This was my StitchCon 2021 memory piece, and it's so small you would think I would be done with it, but I have trouble with this one just because there's little details here and there that I just don't want to stitch sometimes. So here is where I'm at on Tired Trio. I don't have pictures of where I was the last time I stitched. I'll try to do that this time, take pictures of this before I make my next video, or I'll try to take pictures of this today so that when I make my next video I can insert those. But I mainly did, like, I finished the face on this little sloth. I filled in these flowers, they didn't have their centers, and then I did some of these little flowers, and that's what I got done on that one. My next one is Anne of Green Gables by Soda Stitch. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out angles here. But yeah, this is Anne of Green Gables, and Anne of Green Gables was like one of my favorite movies. Like Anne of Green Gables and Anne of Avonlea, the 1980s one with Megan Follows and oh goodness, Colleen Dewhurst, who plays Marilla. I grew up watching those, and I still love them so much. And I've recently been reading Anne of Green Gables, so I've never read the books other than Anne of Green Gables, so I'm reading that, and I'm going to continue on after that. But here is where I am on this one. I think I finished up this square last time with just some of the back stitching that needed to be put in, and then I started on this next section here. So I've pretty much done just that much. This yellow is kind of blending in with my fabric because it is kind of a yellow fabric, but I think once the back stitching gets put in, it'll stand out a little bit more. So that is Anne of Green Gables. Sorry if it's noisy with the bag. Okay, my next one is Treehouse by Cottage Garden Samplers. It's one of the fabulous houses in that series. This is the only one I own right now. I'm not really trying to collect all of them, but there are definitely some that I want to get and stitch. Oh, I forgot. The Tired Trio is being stitched on Color and Cotton fabric, it's 36 count. I'm not sure of the color. And then Anne of Green Gables is 32 count Joblin from, or Lugana from, is it Job? Maybe it's Joblin. It's Joblin from Mystic Fabrics in the color Glow. It was a fabric of the month, so I don't know if she has it. It's not a regular color she has, I don't think. So this is being stitched on Color and Cotton Ozark on 36 count. This was a fabric of the month, and I think they are exclusive to Color and Cotton. I'm not in this club now. I kind of wish I was. I love Color and Cotton fabric, and I am on the waiting list, I guess, for when they have more slots. But I just worked more in the roof of the treehouse here. I think that's where I was last time I stitched. So not a ton of progress, but I'm really enjoying just switching every day. It's just keeping me engaged with each project. Some I enjoy when they come up more than others. The next one is From Nature to My Needle by the Blue Flower. This was a StitchCon purchase in 2021, I think. And I'm stitching this on 36 count Rose Murda from Under the Sea Fabrics. I've done more than that. So I think last time I still had this leaf and this little cocoon to do, so I've just kind of been working my way here, and I did that cute little caterpillar. So there's a little bit of progress on this one. And then this was my StitchCon memory piece from 2019 StitchCon, and it is Ride Forth Singing by Lindy Stitches. I love Stephanie's patterns. And I'm stitching this on 32 count Joblin Sea Witch from Under the Sea Fabrics. And I think, actually I probably need to open that up a little bit more. I got at least more space covered on this. So I did like, I was working on some of the words, finishing flowers up here and more of the border. So that is where that is right now. And I guess I should say I'm using the called for colors. I think on everything I've shown, I'm using the called for colors. I don't really tend to choose different colors. I might substitute DMC for some of the overdyes if I can't find them, but that's it. Okay, so here are my full coverages. This is, I'll try to insert a picture of what it's going to look like. Last time I did that, I think it cut some of the picture off, so I'll try to fix that this time if I can. But this is Rose Library from Unconventional X Stitch, and it is designed by Ivy Dollamore. And I've been kind of doing typewriter method that I heard about from Sarah the Stitch and Mommy. And so I've been picking colors like across the first row and just starting there and stitching my way down with that color. So I've got these books are starting to form. So that's good. It's not super obvious progress to probably most people, but I see it. So, and then my other full coverage that I have going is Enchanted Flute by Josephine Wall from Heaven and Earth Designs. Oh, I'm stitching this Rose Library. It's 32 count, easy count, I think. I think this is 20 count for Enchanted Flute, and I started doing the same thing with the typewriter method. This color right here, I am missing. I don't have it in my stash right now, so I'm just doing what I have until I can get over to the Stitching Kitten and pick up the color I need. So hopefully by the next time you see this, most of this will be filled in because I will have that color. So I don't really count stitches. I do use Markup RXP on my iPad for any PDF chart I have, and so it counts it for me. I'm gonna try to see if I can keep track of that, at least that, because I don't count stitches myself. I can't stand that, so I'm not gonna do that. But if I have a PDF that Markup counts it, RXP counts it for me, I'll do that. Okay, so this one, every time this comes up, I don't want to stitch it, and I'm seriously thinking of, I don't want to stop this one, but it is not turning out how I want it to. But I've already got probably 1,000 stitches into this. And so this is the 7th wave by Long Dog Samplers. And this is where I'm at. I'm still on this giant whale. And I don't know if you can see, but there are lines all through it. And I don't know why, because I'm stitching the same way. But maybe it's because I'm stitching up. I don't ever stitch up, really. I like stitching down. And maybe because I'm stitching up and I'm going all the way across, maybe that's a problem too. But the lines are kind of bugging me. Plus, I think I mentioned last time, I'm playing chicken with this fabric because it is going to be like top to bottom probably is the stitching on this, so I'm probably not going to be able to frame it, which is fine. I will tack it up on the wall and I think it'll look fine that way if I continue to do it. But in the camera it actually doesn't look bad, so maybe it won't bother me eventually, because I really don't want to rip all this out and put it on and do a different fabric so I can start from top to bottom. I'm trying to do the whale and work my way up so that I know it's going to fit. But that's just what I chose to do with it. So it's my own fault. I could have waited and gotten a different fabric for it. And that is being stitched in 310, and it is on 32 count Lugana in the color Olympia by Mystic Fabrics. And it was a fabric of the month as well. So I guess my other one was, my Anne of Green Gables is Lugana, not Joplin, because that's what my fabric of the month was. And here, my next one is Castles in the Air by Long Dog Samplers. And this is being stitched on 18 count Opalescent Ada in the color Galaxy from Mystic Fabrics. And here is where I am on this one. So I think I had most of this page done last time you saw this, so I've stitched more of the border. I've stitched these little motifs. I've stitched this other half of the castle. I'm gonna stop, like, now that I have Markup RXP, I'm gonna keep going pages and not stop at pages when it comes to things like this. Just because I think it's better just to try to stitch the entire motif. So that is what I've done. I really love working on this. I love it on this fabric. I think it's already looking really pretty to me. So I am excited to continue with that one. It was my first Long Dog that I ever started, or I ever bought, really. So that's good. Okay, so I have 3 new starts, and I will tell you first, I have put my Mirabilia Garden Prelude in timeout. Number one, I'm still not sure how I feel about the fabric that I was trying to restart it on. And number two, the last time I stitched on it, I stitched quite a bit, and then I realized I miscounted somewhere. And I made a huge mistake with my counting. So I had to frog. And while I was frogging the mistake I had just made, I noticed that I had miscounted my previous stitches too. Those were not lining up with the chart. And so I have decided that I'm not going to work on that for a while. If I do work on it again, I am definitely going to go back to either the fabric that I was stitching it on that I couldn't get the floss out of. I couldn't frog the skin on that because it was 1/1 and I could not get it to come out. So I'm either just gonna chuck that or try again to rip it out, or buy another different fabric to work on it. And I don't know what it is. The Mirabilia pattern, I need to probably make a working copy on white paper because the color paper that they use for Mirabilias, I hate it. I can't see it. It's like this cream colored paper, and the printing is not very, the lines are not very thick. The ink is not very thick on the symbols, and it's just, I have a hard time seeing it and following it. So I need to make a working copy. So anyway, that is in timeout. But I did start something else in its place. This was a purchase from StitchCon last time. I think it was 2021 when I was there. And this is Heirloom Lace by Works by ABC. Arlene put out a new FlossTube recently. It's her first one in a while, I think, and it made me think about this piece because I had already purchased the DMC that I wanted to use. I don't know if I have enough of it, but I had already purchased that, and I have fabric for it that I picked for it. So this, I don't actually know who the dyer is or what color it is. I have no idea. I think I got this piece at Keepsakes, and it doesn't have, I don't remember if it ever had a label on it, but it is 40 count Verdal. And I think I've mentioned on here, I am terrified of 40 count. I've been terrified of 40 count. I have to use a magnetic lamp anyway when I stitch, no matter what I'm using, because I can't see. But when I was at StitchCon, I think I tried to start this and I couldn't because I was using my travel magnifier and it doesn't magnify as strongly as what I have at home. So I didn't continue with it. And I've been afraid of 40 count ever since, especially in a dark color. But I started it and I have a little small start, but I have loved every second of it so far. And here is where I am, just in that top corner, this flower. And this uses a combination of full crosses and half stitches. So I'm stitching it 1/2. And then I can just, whatever the half stitches are, I just go ahead and do a half stitch, and I don't have to do, so I'm not doing 2 strands and then having to switch to 1 to do the half stitch. So I just do it all at once. And at first I thought, well, you're not going to be able to notice because it's 1 strand everywhere, but I can tell which ones are the half stitches. It's that shade, that subtle shading that the half stitches make. And I'm absolutely loving this. just, it's so pretty. It's so delicate to me. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. And my next one is Autumn Stroll by the Stitching Kitten. The Stitching Kitten is my LNS. I'll try to leave a link down below because they do have an online shop as well, where if you live anywhere near Irmo, South Carolina, they are here. This is Autumn Stroll. And I really like this effect. It's full stitches here in the log, and then most of this is half stitches because it's supposed to be the reflection in the water. And I just really like that concept. And I am stitching this on 32 count Mushroom Mocha from Zweigart. And this is where I am so far. So most of this is half stitches. So you do half stitches for like there's different symbols for, sometimes there's different symbols for the same color because the half stitches have one symbol and the full stitches have the other symbol. So it's really easy to know what kind of stitch you're supposed to be doing. But most of this is half, and here's some full stitches of that leaf in there because it's supposed to be like floating in the water. So that's where I am, and it's pretty much full coverage up here for the most part. So that is my fall stitch. I always want to have something autumn going because it's my favorite season. So I was finally able to start this. Okay, so that brings me to my third new start, which is also going to carry into my haul because this is part of my haul. So I pre-ordered some market patterns from the Stitching Kitten. I think like 12 or 13 actually. I went a little overboard. And then when I went to pick them up, I made more purchases because I'm trying to build up my project bag collection because I have many projects sharing bags right now, and I would like for them to have their own typically. So this didn't really help me because this has a new project in it, so it's not being taken by one of the other ones that really needed a bag. But I picked this up from the Stitching Kitten. It is just this really cute bag with the sea turtles on it. I'm trying not to touch the microphone. And then this just blue fabric at the top. It's pretty big. And then the Stitching Kitten puts their logo and their phone number on it on the zipper pull. And so this is the inside, just that green fabric. And in here I have Ladybug Picnic from Hands On Design, and this was market release last month. And I am stitching it on the called for fabric. The Stitching Kitten got some of this fabric in. This is 32 count linen in pomegranate, and it is from Fabrics by Stephanie. So here is where I am. Wow, it got really bent. Sorry about that. But that's where I am. This fabric is gorgeous. And I have a pretty big piece of it, so I can use it for other things later. But this is where I am there. So I've got just the leaves on the ladybug and then some of the red of the ladybug started. I am short a couple of colors of, I'm stitching this in the called for Weeks Dye Works, and I'm missing a couple of colors because they were out of stock at Stitching Kitten, and they're supposed to get more this month, so I'm kind of stitching what I can with the colors I have. And I also got these floss drops, and this was a market release that I wasn't planning on, but this is from Willoughby Ann, and they are, and I've got my Weeks Dye Works on here. Let me find the ones that don't have color on them. So these are the floss drops, and they are acrylic, and this is the color Cotton Candy, and it's like purple and pink mixture. So these are really pretty. And so I'm a bobbinator, but when it comes to overdyes, I don't bobbinate those. So that is that new bag. And so here we go with my haul. So I'm saying so a lot. I'm sorry. I didn't even know about the fact that there was a cookbook every year at Market. This was my first time buying pre-orders from Market because I didn't really know. Well, I've known about Market, but I just haven't been stitching for a couple of years. So it hasn't really been on my radar, but this year it definitely was. So I did get the cookbook from the Market, and it does have like, I think, 50 patterns in here, just 50 smalls. And there are definitely some that I really want to stitch. And this cookbook, $12 for this cookbook. Like, I think that's really, really great. I got the first 4 in the series. They're doing a collab series with a bunch of different designers called Feathered Friends. And it is just, it's monthly stitching with birdhouses. And so this is January. This is January's birdhouse. I do plan on buying this stand to put mine on, but I only got the first 4 because it's going to take me a while to stitch them, and then I'll add to the collection here and there. This one is from Textile Crafts. And then February is the Stitching Kitten. It's so cute. Caroline did such a good job with this. I love those swans. I got this, like, I've gotten more into wanting to have monthly designs to put around the house for that particular month. And this came out, and I was like, my father spent a lot of time building birdhouses over the recent years, and so it kind of reminds me of him. So I wanted to get this. This one is March, and it's from Sweet Wing Studio. See that? It's pretty. And then the last one I got is from Fine Frog, and it's April. It's really cute. So there's that. And then my next one I got is called The Snail Rider, and it's from Tiny Modernist. I thought it was really cute. I'm fairly obsessed with mushrooms lately. I don't know why, but I love anything with mushrooms on it. And when I saw this, I was just like, yes, please. I have to have that. I think everything I got also has a creature of some sort, either a bug or an animal. I think everything I have has an animal on it or something. And then I got, this is Love Hopes All Things from Lindy Stitches. I had to get a Lindy Stitches, and this, I love it. And it's a Bible verse, so you know, I'm all about scripture and stitching things with scripture. This one is probably my largest one, and it's going to be one I might not start for a while because I want to do all the called for colors, and there's a lot of them. But this is Ducks in the Orchard by A Gardener's Needle. It is so cute. And it's like they're pears. It's a pear orchard, I think. And it's just really, really cute. I love it. This next one, I had heard of this designer, but never really seen any of her or their designs. But I've been looking at the different ones that they have out, and I want all of them. I am in love with what they do. And that is the Artsy Housewife. And this is Bun Bun. It's just so cute. I think what I like the most is their borders are just, I love the way they do borders. They're so good. And the colors that they pick are just so bold and bright, and I love them. I want to do everything. This will probably be my next new start when I have a new start. It probably won't be for a little while. I'm on a no spend for a couple of months, but yeah. And so this next one is Chubby You by Jeanette Douglas. And there's just that little sheep. I've also been on a sheep kick lately. I love sheep. I don't know what it is. I love sheep. And oh, there it is. I was like, I'm missing one. I forgot to bring one into the pile. That's not my last one. So this next one is, I think Stephanie from Lindy Stitches sold me on this one when she was doing her market videos and just showing previews of all the designs that she was going to have. And she sold me on this one. And I don't think I had seen it yet on the Stitching Kittens website. But this is Erin Elizabeth Designs, and I think it looks like it might be a series because it's Birds in Nature and then it says Sparrow. So maybe she's going to have more birds. Sorry about the glare. I really meant to take these out before showing them, but I got home from work and I was like, I need to film a video, and I don't want to stop myself from filming, having to do a lot of random things. And my last one is the third in the Exploring the Seasons series by the Stitching Kitten, and it is called Spring Splash. And that is really cute. I think the summer one should be coming out in the summer, I think. I think that's when it's scheduled to come out. But this was one of their market releases. So that is it for haul. Yeah. So I don't really know if I have any. I don't really have any plans. I will probably stick with my one-a-day schedule that I've been doing because it's been working for me, and I'm really enjoying doing that. Even though some days I don't stitch every day. I try to stitch every day, but some days I get home from work and I'm too wiped out because I do have a very physical job. So I'm too wiped out to stitch some days, but most days I will get some stitching in. But I don't typically do a ton. Sometimes I'll get one length of floss in a project and that's all I can do. Sometimes I'll get 100 stitches. Sometimes I'll get a little more than that. On the weekends I tend to stitch more because I have more time. But I think that is what I'm going to stick with. I'm still waiting on a full coverage piece that I ordered the day after Christmas. I ordered a kit from Charting Creations and it's still not here. It was a Christmas present from my husband. He told me to order it. And I did, and it's been 4 months. So And I know they say that like their turnaround time can be longer if they've had a lot of orders. And I know since I ordered around Christmas time, they probably got a lot of orders in for kits. So I'm not super, as long as I get it, I don't really care. I've got plenty to stitch, but I am still waiting on that one. And I will probably start that one when it comes because I'll have everything I need and there's really no reason. I'm kind of the kind of person when I have all the materials for a piece, I might as well start it. I'm not gonna sit. It's not gonna sit there kitted up, and I'm not gonna do anything with it. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it for today. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises about filming. I'm gonna try the once a month thing for now. If I can do more, great. I will. But I think once a month is what I can do at this point. Anyway, trying to think if there's anything else I want to share. I do read a bit, but I didn't read much in March. I listen to audiobooks at work, and then I do read physical books as well. But I didn't read any physical books in March, and I only listened to one audiobook in March because I was really into music at work instead. But there's not really much to talk about with those. So I guess that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and stuck with me through my rambling, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.